Ladies and gentlemen, gives me immense pleasure and honor to have our first keynote speaker join us on this dais. He has so many feathers in his cap that it would take me a long time to even read them out to you. He's contributed immensely towards the growth of our country's IT sector. Ladies and gentlemen, he's been the head of several Indian and global industry forums such as FICCI, AMCAM, TIE, HISA and IEEE, the chairman of STPI Hyderabad, Chennai and Bangalore. He's been the co-founder of Portal Player, which went on to be acquired by NVIDIA, a company that designed the core chips and software that powered the Apple iPods. Ladies and gentlemen, he's also the co-founder of Talent Sprint, a leading edtech company in India. He's always there to help people with questions and queries. He's an angel investor, a mentor to entrepreneurs and students. And ladies and gentlemen, he's been the Special Chief Secretary, rank of a cabinet minister to the Andhra Pradesh government in the Chief Minister's office during the years 2014 to 19, and has advised and assisted the government in bringing in investments, generating employment, and encouraging innovation and startup activities in Andhra Pradesh. He's also associated with the governments of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman is here to address us for our inaugural keynote. I would like a big thunderous round of applause for he's taken time out to be here with us, Dr. J A Chowdary.
Thank you, Abhishek, for your gracious introduction. Good morning, captains of the industry, ladies and gentlemen. Before I give my Bangalore to Bangalore story, actually I was not in a mood to come for this event, though I agreed a long time ago to Chinmay, because recently my mom passed away and I was in my village conducting all the rituals. But in spite of me being in the village, not able to take a decision to come here, Chinmay from Bangalore, he drove all the way to my village in his own car and came and requested me to come and participate, at least spend some few hours with this event. And while driving back, I saw Chinmay, how he was able to give instructions to his team, what to do, how to do, where to do. I was really amazed to see the leadership qualities in Chinmay. Though he is one of my ardent disciples, but I never saw that kind of a leadership qualities in practice. He was driving on the highway and he was giving instructions. Every 5 minutes, people were calling him and he was telling what to do. And I was amazed to see his leadership qualities. And I want all of you to give a standing ovation to such people. At a young age, he's able to do all these things, demonstrating the... Thank you, Chinmay. Since I came to Bangalore, I was not prepared to talk what should I speak. In fact, I was not in a mood to come to the Indian Space Research Organization. I was in the telemetry division where Rohini, Bhaskara satellites, I was developing the telemetry subsystems for the Indian Space Research Organization. That's where I started my journey, tech journey from Bangalore. Then I left that and I went to Department of Electronics, New Delhi, in the policy making body with the Ministry of Information Technology. Those days there was no ministry called Information Technology. It was a part of the Science and Technology Ministry. So there I saw, when I was working in Bangalore ISRO, it was a different environment. When I went to Delhi, Department of Electronics, it's totally the opposite environment. During the peak license Raj, I was witnessing people like Narayan Murthy, Ajay Premji, all these people, including FC Kohli, they used to come and wait in our corridors of the government, hours together. Sometimes they used to come first day, second day, third day, still they were not able to get the proper appointment with the concerned joint directors for getting their import license or whatever they want to do. That was the peak license Raj. Unfortunately, I was in Department of Electronics those days. In fact, we were instructed not to give an approvals for any import license, and we used to write note sheets, green sheets in the government. Every government they used a lot of green sheets. So we used to write why this cannot be approved. Some dozens of papers we used to fill all the data. Suppose if I give approval, then immediately they will say, no, you got a vested interest, you got some arrangement with that company or individual. So why to take risk? Keep on writing then justification. This cannot be approved. Then my job is done. That's not the mindset of the license officials during that time. And many entrepreneurs from United States, United Kingdom, they used to come. They want to do something in information technology, but they saw that getting the computer import license itself used to take 6 months to 1 year. By the time they get the import license, the technology is changed and all those things are. And in addition to that, there is to be 350% customs duty. So all kind of restrictions. Why we should not do anything in the government or in the industry? That is the mindset. But fortunately, again, Bangalore played an important role. Texas Instruments, those days they wanted to come to India, they had 2-3 other options. Israel was one option, Ireland was an option, then India was also one of the options. They came to Government of India, we want to set up the development center for Texas Instruments operations because you have great manpower from IITs and NITs and all that, we want to set up the development center here. Provided they gave list of the things. We want a single window government clearance mechanism where all the approvals are given across the table or within 24 hours time. There was no internet during that time in India. There used to be only through the satellite technology, through Intelsat, we have to connect to the other world. They said we need a dedicated satellite station on top of our building so that we can get connected to Texas Instruments headquarters. Then how much time I have? Because storytelling takes a lot of time. Already you are late. Thank you. No. So whenever you get bored, you just lift your hand and stop that time. Because this is a story, because we are in the tech capital of India, Bangalore. You should know the story how we made India as the tech capital of the world. So Texas Instruments, they gave the list of the things, internet facilities through satellite technology, satellite station and single window government mechanism, all those things they gave the list. If you don't provide this, we will go to either Israel or Ireland to set up the development center. That time, fortunately, I think during that time, Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister, and somehow he said we have to get Texas Instruments to be set up their operations somehow in India. So these powers were vested with different ministries. There is no information technology ministry. The DOE, some powers were there. Commerce ministry, some powers were there. Then revenue ministry, some powers. Like that, several departments and ministries were involved. They said, no, how can I give my powers to one officer? So we cannot. So with the power of the Prime Minister's office, we were able to create an entity. It was a pilot. It was called Software Technology Parks of India. So that entity was created, and they said it has to be a pilot because we are giving a lot of powers to this one single officer. He may misuse these powers. So we will do it only for Texas Instruments and also observe every month and see how these powers are being used or misused. Then that concept came out of Government of India. Then Texas Instruments, they selected Bangalore. Bangalore being, those days Bangalore used to be the pensioners' paradise. Because when I was staying in Malleshwaram, 18th class, 8th when I was working for ISRO, in our flats, there used to be a building called Mukta building. I don't know if still that is there or not. No provision even for fans. Leave about air conditioners. Even fans, there used to be no provision. That's how Bangalore city was during that time. And because of that, Texas Instruments thought it is a good city with a lot of greenery and a lot of public sectors are there, tech talent is there, Indian Institute of Science is there. So all these things, made a decision for them to select a place in Bangalore. Then they selected a place on Miller Road. It's called, I think, some towers. I don't remember. I'm now 69 years old. So in Miller Road, they selected that building, and on the top of the building, they wanted us to set up a satellite earth station. During that time, to bring the satellite earth station equipment from the airport, it was not the present airport, the old airport. There was no provision to bring it in other vehicles. We had to take a bullock cart and put the satellite earth station equipment, bring it to the Miller Road in Bangalore, and set it up on the top of the building, Sona Towers. The building name is Sona Towers. So there was a satellite earth station, and there is a mechanism called Software Technology Parks of India, and in the Department of Electronics, they circulated a questionnaire that whoever is interested in going to Bangalore to head the Software Technology Parks of India, so they can send their request. So all my colleagues in Department of Electronics during the license Raj, because everybody used to go to their office, right? People used to wait in the corridors of power, whether big industries or anybody for that matter. They don't want to lose that power. So none of them applied, only my application was there, because why I applied, my native place is very close to Bangalore. It's from Bangalore airport, present airport, it's about 1.5 hours drive or 1 hour 45 minutes. I thought nearer to my village is good for me, so that I can help my brothers and sisters and all that. That was my interest, not knowing that this is going to bring transformation for India itself and creating so many millions of jobs. Even I was not knowing about it. I never imagined that this can make that kind of a big impact. So I opted. Obviously, they selected me as the founding director of the Software Technology Parks of India, and there was no office here, and there is no entity for STPI here. They attached me to one of the Department of Electronics offices located in Pinia Industrial Estate. It is to be called ETDC, Electronics Testing and Development Center. It is located in Pinia Industrial Estate. And in Miller Road, Texas Instruments, they gave one office for me to sit in that building. So all the powers were given, and from the Prime Minister's office, one IAS officer used to come every month. They used to monitor what I am doing, how all the powers are being used and all that. All those things were there. In addition to that, there used to be an IPS officer, senior IPS officer from Intelligence Bureau in our board of STPI. Why? Because there is a satellite earth station, and multinational company, American company is there in Bangalore. They may send any information to the outside world. So it has to be monitored 24/7. We used to monitor what emails are going, what attachments are coming, what attachments are going, and this big room was allocated in Miller, in that Sona Towers, for keeping the printouts of those information. Whatever comes, whatever email goes from TI Bangalore to TI US or vice versa, those things had to be taken a printout, and I had some 3 officers around the clock. They had to go and monitor what is happening through the monitoring system. So one day what happened, there used to be some general elections in India, and employees of the Texas Instruments started commenting on some political parties, some politicians who are contesting for elections and all that. In middle of the night, I got a call from one of my officers. Sir, not the technology information going on the satellite, but a lot of political information is going. So this kind of a report he reported. Then I asked him to send an email formal report. When I got the email, I sent it to the Department of what is that? It used to be called. It's headed by IPS officer. What is that name there? Intelligence Bureau. Intelligence Bureau was the department. So I sent it to the Government of India, Intelligence Bureau, and one IPS officer along with several junior IPS officers, about 5 of them. They came all the way from Delhi, and there used to be one Mike Watson, who was the managing director of Texas Instruments in India, in Bangalore. And they grilled him for nearly 1 week. They went through all the papers, they were asking all kind of questions and all that. Finally, they found that no sensitive information was sent through the satellite station, and they went out. That time, my boss was N. Vittal, recently passed away, Nagarajan Vittal. He was the Secretary, Department of Electronics. I told him, sir, what is this nonsense? Anybody can send information through fax or through modem. Why this restriction? Just because they are using the satellite station on top of their building. He also realized, yes, this is a flaw in the system. Then he went to the Cabinet Secretary and got his approval, and they removed that restriction. Like that, there are several restrictions were there during that time, during license laws, and in spite of all that, this thing, because they given all the powers to STPA director, I used to give within 24 hours all the import licenses, whatever licenses they want, I was authorized to give all those licenses. So one day, one Mr. Yugandhar, he was with the Prime Minister's office in Delhi. He came as a part of the inspection or monitoring what STPA is doing. Then everything was going good, all the multinational companies. After seeing the success of the Texas Instruments, in the Cunningham Road, Hewlett-Packard came, Digital came, all these MNC companies, they landed in Bangalore because TI got all the benefits, and they don't want to experiment in other cities because all the approval system was there, satellite station was there, so that they can draw the fiber link from the sonar towers to their respective places. That's how Bangalore became the tech capital of India. So when B.N. Yugandhar, who is the actually father of Satya Nadella, who is the current Microsoft CEO, he was the Prime Minister's office, one of the secretaries. He said, you are a Telugu person, and you are not doing anything to your state. Why don't you go to Hyderabad and develop the IT industry? Then I said, told him, sir, there's not even one single IT company in Hyderabad, and there is no STP office in Hyderabad. So how can I go to Hyderabad and develop this IT industry? He said, no, I will talk to your boss and until I got the approval for setting up the STP office in Hyderabad. When I went to Hyderabad, all the rocks and boulders used to be there, not even one IT company, so no internet and all that thing. And it was so difficult to convince any company. All these companies were established in Bangalore, they were not coming because there is no internet, there is no critical mass and all that. So, thanks to Chandrababu Naidu, when he became the Chief Minister of combined Andhra Pradesh, I used to meet him every day, 1 hour, whatever was required, I used to tell him, and he used to get all those things done. So those rocks and boulders of Hyderabad converted into the IT destination. Today, if you go and see Hyderabad, it looks like Manhattan or looks like any other modern city. And all the economy comes from IT industry, not from other industries. So today, entire state of Telangana, the main revenue comes from Hyderabad. Again, because of the IT industry. So this story got expanded to Pune, Gurgaon, wherever there are IT people, wherever there are IT fraternity. That's how India became the knowledge capital of the world. In fact, information technology industry today, it is not the information technology, India technology industry, because all the technologies, you name it, any technology for that matter, there are people available in all the levels. So when Chinmay approached me that this is the kind of conferences he is making in various cities, I said yes, this is required because we are going through the transformation today. Whatever was there earlier, when I was studying in IIT Madras, there were no opportunities for students to work in any industry. Either they had to become a bank clerk or a teacher or maybe 2 organizations like ISRO and BRC. Other than that, there are no job opportunities. And number of colleges are also very less. IITs were itself, I think 4 or 5, and there are no private universities and all that. In spite of that, no jobs. Because of the IT industry, today there are so many private universities, so many private engineering colleges, and millions of people are coming out every month and every year out of these colleges. Still, IT industry is able to absorb them, and all of them are getting benefited. The whole economy got benefited because of the IT industry. But unfortunately, or fortunately, again, we come to the next phase of transformation. thanks to, or we don't want to thank the generative AI. When I met a lot of CEOs in America recently, they said the generative AI is coming, we are already using, 90% of the workforce can be removed, only 10% can do the core job. Then what will happen to the Indian IT services industry? Unless they transform, they will not be able to retain their job, they will not be able to get a new job. And that's worried me a lot, because I have been through this industry for the last 30 years. I have seen how this industry grown. Suddenly the same industry, because of the AI tools and all that, the people are going to be laid off. What is India is going to do? India with 1.5 billion people, with the concentration of the population, if you don't have this job creation engine running properly, the unemployed youth, they will kill the prospects of this nation. We don't require other countries like China, Pakistan to destabilize India. So how do we create new jobs? That was my thought process. Then again, the Bangalore to Bangalore story, though I went to Delhi, then I thought that we should do something to arrest this process. How do we create new jobs? I thought through the startup companies, because startup companies always works in the new technologies, new problems they are going to solve. So why not we create more successful startup companies from India, so that they will be able to create new jobs? That was the idea. Then I again came back to the tech capital of India and the startup capital of India, the Bangalore, and we started creating a platform called India Startup Foundation. Through India Startup Foundation, we ran 2 conferences, one in 22 and the last one was in August conference. We had more than 11,000 startups. They applied for the startup pitch competition. Out of that, we selected 20. Unlike many conferences, all the selected companies, every week, there are 250 mentors, global mentors are there. They talk to them, they mentor them, they provide funding to them. For example, last 5-6 weeks, we have been giving opportunities to all the selected companies. All the companies got the funding. In fact, the last company, it is a Singapore-based company promoted by one of the retired IAS officers called Randeep Sudan. After taking the retirement from the government, he went to World Bank, and he was the head of the IT for developing countries and third world countries. He took voluntary retirement and started a company in Singapore. He was not able to get funding, though he was in Singapore. Then he approached me, then one of the startup mentoring sessions he presented. On the same day, within 1 hour, he got $1 million funding assured, and also some people wanted to give business opportunities also to them. So I thought, whatever the Silicon Valley model of the funding, where only 1 out of 10 startup companies are succeeding. So why not we reverse that model? Why can't we make 9 out of 10 companies to succeed? So for that, we need ecosystem. That's what we are now building, and we are very, very thankful to all the mentors, HNIs. A lot of HNIs who came from Hyderabad, they are all from the real estate industry, pharma industry. They never used to invest in startups. I told them, you are going to Tirupati and putting money in Hundi. You are thinking that you will get some punyam. I don't know whether you are getting that good karma points. Whereas the same money, you give it to a startup company who are in the early stage. And not only you get 100 times more punyam, 100 times more karma points, plus this money is going to return 10 times with good valuation, he will return the money. So I don't know how they got convinced with that idea. A lot of them, they came. On the first day of the conference itself, 150 term sheets, they all signed for the startup companies who are in the early stage. So why I am telling this story, though it is not possible in countries like America and other places, India we have a lot of wealth. People have got a lot of money. They don't know where to invest. Once we provide an opportunity for them to invest in good startups, not only the startups are going to survive and succeed and create the jobs. So that's what the new job creation engine through the startup companies, through India Startup Foundation, we have started this journey, and I am sure that all of you have to participate in this. It's like a yagnam. That's where I met people like Chinmay, Dinanath, and so many people. Because this is like a fire ritual. This is for the country. If you don't do this, country will go to dogs. This unemployed youth will kill the prospects of the country. So it's everybody's responsibility to create good talent, to help the startup who are in the early stage. Particularly, I want to mention Chitkara University, when they gave me the honorary doctorate recently. When I went there, even a second year student has started a company and they are doing very well. Out of 173 startups which they incubated, 73 startups got good exits. And their model of giving the education, not through regular education. The kind of learning and education what Chitkara University is following is through the startup journey. Once you give the students, okay, this is your startup company, this is your idea, this is your mentor, and you have to come with a successful startup journey. He is learning what to do on the finance side, he is learning the new technologies, he knows what is the business development, how to market, how to branding, the entire thing through Ekalavi education, they are able to learn, not that professors are teaching everything for them. So this is the kind of model I am suggesting to all the educational institutions, all the private universities, public universities, unless you create that kind of a talent. Otherwise, Thomas Friedman has written long time ago a book called World is Flat. Today world is flat. Suppose there is an opportunity in US or Europe, anybody can compete. Indians can compete, Stanford students can compete. Similarly, there is an opportunity in Bangalore. Anybody can compete for the opportunity. So, unless you prepare our talent of that nature, our talent should be on par with Stanford students or MIT students or whatever is possible. So, only thing is we have to apply our mind and see that how do we take care of our India's prospects, because this is a journey, we got a very good journey, and thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister, the way he is making India to really become the superpower of the world, and that's possible provided we take care of creating good talent and also help the startup companies so they will create new jobs. So in this journey, I request all of you to participate in this Mahayagnam fire ritual. It is not J A Chowdhary's Yagnam, it is all of you have to think, how do I help a startup company, how do I help an engineering college or a university where they can be told how they can increase the productivity of this thing, how they can learn better. Otherwise, what is happening, they go through AICT, UGC and all that this thing, though they came with some reforms, there are tinkering reforms. We need disruptive reforms because we are going through the disruptive world today. This era is called disruptive era. In this disruptive era, we need disruptive reforms in every sector, education sector, healthcare sector, every sector we need to have that kind of a disruptions in the policies and everywhere. So with this, I want to thank Chinmay for giving me this opportunity to come and speak to all of you. And I once again request, it's a moment where all of us have to think, today what is that I am doing, something good for the country. Am I mentoring somebody as a student or a startup company, that kind of a thing, initiative that you should have, then I think nobody can stop India and India is going to do very well. Thank you so much for listening.
To stay informed about the startup ecosystem, subscribe to My Startup TV.